It's been so long, but I'm finally home and walk better place to rest my weary bones.
Oh yeah. Hello and welcome to another Mikey Live program, folks. This is where it all happens. We are talking about the good, the bad, and the Mikey. All the brace all yourself. Now this is where we talk about the things that you have heard about before. In some cases, things that you're hearing about for the first time. And as it relates to things that you've heard about before, we offer you a different perspective. We have no horse in the race, so we give you undiluted, uninfluenced, unbiased news in all lili lolo. Are you ready? Now, let's talk about this. Sharing the program is critical. So the first order of business today is for you to share the program. You see, when you share the program, that's how other people get to know that we're live. That's how other people get to know that the program exists. So go ahead, people, and share the business. Share the business. Now let's talk about what's making the news. Government plans a welcome home motorcade for artists returning home from Trinidad. So that's going to be happening on Saturday. They'll be going around the island. There's more about that we will be telling you about later on. 2 books launched by Grenadian economist. GFA speaks of treatment meted out to Grenadian footballer. We'll talk about that in pretty. Poor athlete participation in the first zonal meet in the lead up to the National Secondary School Games. That happened today. We'll tell you more about that as well. Guard on child rape charge in court for raping girl again. Now that's a story coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. Michael Jackson's body may be exhumed as 11 new accusers come forward. Now that will be interesting. Also, we tell you that a man in St. Vincent sells cocaine to take care of his newborn. All right, we'll tell you more about that. U.S. State Department issues travel advisory for Trinidad and Tobago, and that is for U.S. citizens. Olio, hear this one. Health officials celebrate groundbreaking eye surgery, and we will tell you about that. That's coming out of St. Lucia. You know what I mean? So yes, man, I want to say hello to all the newcomers, to the people who are here on the program for the first time. Bless up in all yourself, man. Business. We also want to big up my bedroom, Marvin, you know, the consultant for the program. Big up your whole self, Marvin. You know what I mean? I apologize for not being able to make it today, but I small thing. We'll talk about that later. Now, folks, all this and more we will be telling you about later on, yeah, right? So here's what. Go get your Coke and your popcorn and your business, because it's action, suspense, and drama on the program. We want to remind you that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emeralds International, and as well WPG10. Speaking of WPG10, we'd like to say welcome to all the people via our cable TV channels 10 and 11, 10 standard definition, 11 high definition, currently viewing via WPG10. All year we're coming back, and when you hear we come back, it's real news in Ole Lili Lolo.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world. We can't wait for carnival.
carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the tongue. That is how we are with fun. Ooh, ooh yeah, ooh, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like in Spice Mass. Ooh, ooh yeah, ooh. Grenada to the world. They can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. Oh, you come. Split the rum, bring the gun. They can't. Get in your section, get in your direction. Get in your section, get in your direction. Follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Let's follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Get in your section.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
All right, folks, so this is it right there. And again, we'd like to officially welcome everyone on the business tonight. And I do hope that you had yourself a pleasant day and that the night is going well for you. Of course, we're concerned about you, all right? This is a family business right now. It's a family news. It's your news, you know what I mean? All right, so folks, the first thing that I want to tell you about, right? There's a little business here in Grenada. Well, a branch of a particular business is KM2 Solutions, and they are celebrating 15 years, a 15-year anniversary, a history, they say, of excellence. And they are based in St. Andrew, all right? Now, in 2004, they say that KM2 Solutions opened its doors for the very first time. Its original office was in the Caribbean country of St. Lucia, along the northern border of the city. The capital, that is Castries. Now, 15 years later, they say that KM2 Solutions has grown to 10 offices in 6 countries and provides business services to clients in all major industries. Okay, they say that they have done a lot and will continue to do a lot. You know what I mean? So they are celebrating, and they want you to know that they are celebrating in a big way, investing. The growth of the company means enriching the lives of those in the communities that the company operates in. That's what they're saying. Now they're saying that KM2 has been a conduit for careers in regions of the world. It includes Grenada. They say that they provide stable year-round jobs that lead to supervisors, management, and director careers. You know, so they're celebrating all year. So we just want to say congratulations to them, and may God bless them and continue to do whatever they are doing here in Grenada as well. All right, people? And that is KM2 Solutions. I've had brethren working there. I want to big up the brethren, Holland and the team and things like that. You know, bless up all the whole self at KM2 Solutions. Take a bow. All right? we are moving on, people. Now, so the next thing that I want to tell you about, boys, is the application that you can sign up and thing for a job. Now, applications are invited from suitably qualified persons to fill the position of finance supervisor, accounts of the National Water and Sewage Authority in Nawasa, Grenada. You understand? So, all if you know it's a work that you're interested in, sign up for the business. You don't have, you're not no big set of rocket science. They're saying it's a good job. It's a good paying job, and you can sign up, and the little thing and thing, and you organize yourself, right? So sign up. You see that you, in terms of your skill set and so on, and experience and knowledge, you must be a strong leader. You must be able to motivate others and have good analytical skills. All right. Also have good interpersonal and communication skills. Not talk like me, Yeah, not like you're from the country. You got to be able to communicate properly, and effectively. Now, anybody who's interested in the business, send in your applications. No later than Wednesday, 20th March, and it must be addressed as follows: the general manager, vacancy for finance supervisor / accounts, National Water and Sewage Authority, PO Box 392, Carenage, St. George's, Grenada. You can email nawasa@nawasa.gd. All by the way, Wednesday 20, Thursday is my birthday to know. Thursday is your birthday, the 21st. You know what I mean? If I don't make it on the program, don't watch that. You know what I mean? The government is planning a homecoming motorcade for Mr. Killer and them boy. And here what we talking about? We ain't talking about next year. No. There will be a homecoming motorcade this Saturday.
This Saturday, 9th March at 1:30 p.m. the King touches down. The 2019 International Soca Monarch, Mr. Killer, returns home with the coveted crown.
I am tired and frustrated of war.
And so every Grenadian is asked to assemble at the Maurice Bishop International Airport for this grand and historic motorcade, which starts at Point City through St. David's up the Eastern Corridor onto St. Patrick down the west side and into Wharf, Goodman Peters Park to be exact, for the grand welcome home celebration. And also on this motorcade, Mr. Legs, Vaughn, Little Natty and Thunder, and Mandela Links come out and show you appreciation. The International Soca Monarch Welcome Home Party, Mr. Killer.
Tell the Prime Minister, open the port and come in home.
The celebration continues.
Run with it.
All right, so folks, that's happening this Saturday. You know what I mean? So they're inviting all of you to come down. They say all you have to come to the airport. Alright? So they're planning the grand business. They say they want to honor the artists who are returning from a successful performance at the International Soca Monarch in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, they will be welcomed by government officials in a brief ceremony at the Maurice Bishop International Airport. Now, this will be immediately followed by a grand motorcade starting at the airport that will take some stops. They will make some stops in 4 parishes which are home to the artists. Now, in St. David, stops will be made at the police station, Natant and Croshoe. And in St. Andrew, the motorcade will stop in Grenville, Paradise Junction, and Tivoli. On the western side of the island, the first stop will be at the Heroes Square in St. Mark, followed by 2 stops in St. John, the first of which will be on the Lansing Grove, and the motorcade culminates at the Cuthbert Peters Park and will be followed by a brief ceremony featuring remarks from the parliamentary representative for St. John, Honorable Alvin Dabrio, and Minister for Youth Development, Honorable Kate Lewis. This will be followed by performances from all of the artists who participated in the International Soca Monarch last Friday. Saturday's event is intended to recognize the outstanding performances by the local artists who have demonstrated at the regional level that they can compete against the best of the best, claiming 3 of the top six spots in competition. Hollismap, Mr. Killer, won the International Soca Monarch with his hit song Run With It, while Hector, Mr. Legs Thomas, and Javon Vaughn John claimed 3rd spots in the Power and Groovy categories respectively. The duo, Dingan Little Natty Henry and Nylon Thunder Williams, as well as Mandela Lynx McDonald, also delivered credible performances and helped to showcase the growth of the soca art form in Grenada. They are all deserving of the recognition, and as such, an invitation is extended to you to show up on Saturday. And I mean, good. How are we looking for time, people? Oh yeah. Some of our little shady program yet. Don't ask me how I know. I don't know when our little shady business. So I'm inviting all you to share the business before I get ratted on the program. Oh God. Alright, where we going next now? Yeah. All the soya mosquito in the place. Jano. All the mosquito kicking in the country. Yeah, I mean, I hope anyway, lady that talk there. Go on saying I hope dengue to get on bad and thing, you know. So all there. The next thing I want to tell all you about is 2 new books have been launched by a Grenadian economist. And she's a book author, obviously, Miss Laurel Bain. Now, Miss Bain released her publications following a lecture as guest speaker at the T.A. Marshall Community College on February 28, 2019, where she made a donation of her books to TAMCC and University of the West Indies Open Campus.
Thanks very much to the class for being very attentive to the lecture. I would like to further share my knowledge, the details of the presentation, in 2 books which I will donate to the T.A. Marshall Community College and the University Open Campus. Just as a highlight, during the 1990s, a number of fiscal policy issues were being debated. Some of them included the issue of the personal income tax and its impact on savings, the impact of tax concession, issues of harmonization of fiscal policies across the currency union. I have done extensive research on these issues and have compiled them in these 2 books. 1, the tax structure of the member countries of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, and fiscal policy, the economy. To share my knowledge, I'm devoting these 2 books to the T.A. Marshall Community College.
Thank you very much, Ms. Bean. On behalf of the business department of the college and by extension the School of Art, Science and Professional Studies, I want to thank you for these books. We will put them in the library where the students will have access, and I mean, we know it will be of great help to them, especially the people, the students in 2nd year who are doing the macroeconomics. So thank you again very much for the gift.
Most welcome. I now donate the 2 books, the tax structure of the member countries of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank and fiscal policy, the economy, to the UWI Open Campus, to you, Dr. Nicole Philip Dow, on behalf of the campus. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much for that. All right, guys. Speaking of campus, I saw a document today that claims it is in reference to the President of the United States' performance at school in terms of his GPA. Oh, God. Anyway, lady, that talk. Wow. I never see that yet. Anyway, let's go on to another interesting story, all right? Treatment meted out to Grenadian international Cedriel Lewis. Now, he's an international football player. And the GFA is talking about it, people. So we received a correspondence about Cedriel. And people, it ain't pretty. Now, he's a good player. You understand? Really good player. And so the Grenada Football Association says it is working assiduously to have international footballer Cedriel Lewis back on Grenadian soil following an unexpected end to his stint in Lebanon with the Nejmeh SC. Now, Lewis, who was contracted by the soccer club to play in Lebanon, was revoked. His contract was revoked after playing only 3 games and has not received none of his salaries due to him. That is actually due to him for the past 2.5 months. Already just got in. Now it is reported that Lewis was forced and threatened to sign a termination letter, which he did, having feared for his safety without having his agent David Naked present. Now, the international player was also humiliated, they say, and received racist comments from club officials upon being expelled from the hotel where he was being accommodated. Now, upon hearing of the situation with the Grenada national player, the Grenada Football Association has been in direct contact, they say, with the player, and at this time, they say that they are making arrangements to have his safe return back home here in Grenada, following threats placed on his life, as well as the unprofessional treatment received from the club. So they're saying currently that he's been housed by his agent, awaiting a flight out of Lebanon. The president of the Grenada Football Association, the GFA, Chenny Joseph, has since written, they say, to the Lebanese Football Association in regards to the indecent way in which they're treating us people, our own. You understand? They say that there is a hope that this matter will be settled soonest. He said this incident is not pleasing at all. Now, President Joseph, in his letter to the president of the Lebanese Football Association, noted that the GFA deemed these actions as unprofessional, unsavory, and against the expressed desires of established football organizational practices, including FIFA and the AFC. You understand? Now, he noted that the association will provide support to Mr. Lewis in seeking redress from FIFA and, if possible, the necessary sanctions against the club and some of its officials. President Joseph also advised that the matter be taken to football's world governing body, FIFA, for investigation. So it's a very serious matter. I mean, it didn't really go into details, you know, but this is what the GFA is putting out there about the treatment that our international football player who went up there on contract. You understand? No star. So, you know, as always, we won't just give you a story and then drop it back. You know, we will continue to monitor and follow the developments as it relates to this one. We are moving on. Olia, how are we looking for time? Now, the next story that we have to tell Olia about, you know what was supposed to happen today? The secondary school games were supposed to happen today in terms of the zonal meets. You know, they separate them in zones, in 4 zones. We have the southern zone, the northern zone, the western zone, and the eastern zone. All aimed at getting to the finals of the secondary school games, which is going to be on April 5th. You understand? So there was, they say, a decent turnout as it relates to students. You understand? So them students turn out to observe what was going on. So you had the various secondary schools students there because they were summoned to be there at 10 o'clock. Yeah? But it is being reported that the athletes' turnout wasn't as impressive, you know, and it has been attributed to many things. Now, the participating schools for today's activity was supposed to be the Grenada Boys Secondary School, the Presentation Brothers College, the Anglican High School, St. Joseph's Convent, Boca Secondary School, Wester Hall Secondary School, Wesley College, Westmoreland Secondary, and the J.W. Fletcher. You understand? There was some as well some events that were not on the schedule and so on, you know, because it's a scaled down version of what we are accustomed to, taking many things into consideration, such as the current impasse with the teachers and their union and the walk to rule. All right, so they're hoping that there will be a better athlete turnout for the next zonal meet. Now, the next game will hit the track and field on the 13th, which is the Western Zone, and we're talking about the 13th of March, and then the Northern and Eastern Zones on the 22nd of March 2019. All right, and as again we stated that the finals will be on April 5th, 2019. We are moving on. How are we looking for time? People, listening is key. When you listen, you learn. Don't be too busy to talk. Don't be too busy to respond. Be clear on what you are being asked so that you would not make a fool of yourself. I ask you the question tonight. How do you spell marijuana?
Spell the word marijuana for me. Try it.
Hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Marijuana is a thing I will always advise the little youth. No, sir. You cannot provide marijuana for your youth because I watch me, they get skiddy, they get maga, and whatnot, because I have a youth, and they watch me every day I score them. And here was the scene. I don't like that at all, because you know why? You give 35 people license to sell it, right? But 35 people sell it, and the difference is about it. When the 35 people get the license to plant it and sell it, it's wrong, because you know why? The bandits will come and kill them and take all we have and go with it. You understand? And the people who own it. You understand? But what they're doing there is wrong. Because let me show you something. My little boy in that, and I want to lie for you. That little boy, let me show you something. I talk to him every day, and I tell him, I say, here, what is the scene? That is wrong. You smoke it on in between. But let me show you something. That is wrong. You cannot legalize that, because when you legalize that for 35, let me say 40 in the street of planted, right? And then plant it and grow it. And people go and thief it. And when they thief it, what will happen? They will shoot them and kill them. That's so. You understand? And that is wrong. That is not nice. Leave it as it is. Let them do what they had to do. When they get catch, they can catch a bang field, and that will be it. You understand? But do not encourage it, because you know why? These children and them young population today is not nice today, because you know why? They're using it and again and stupid. You're abusing it, and they're not nice. What do you think about me?
I love you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank God it's marijuana they tell this woman to spell, and not supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, because all next week she's still talking. Anyway, let's leave that talk. Righty. How we looking? No. I say how we looking? All the watch all about what hungry? How we looking? I wanna pick up my girl in the ministry. She knows she say, oh God, Mikey, you didn't have to put me on blast. So I don't call her a name tonight. I'm just saying good night to the lady in the ministerial complex. The short, nice lady with the short hair. And be the pretty child, you know. Anyway, all you. The next story that I have to tell all you. Alright? Very interesting development by one of our very own. Right? A Grenadian son of the soil. Timothy Antoine people, this man ain't normal. You know what I mean? He's like the LeBron James of economics, sorry. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. Now the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, and the Barbados-based fintech company Bit Inc. have signed a contract to conduct a first of its kind blockchain issued central bank digital currency, the CBDC, within the Eastern Caribbean. Now the watershed contract was signed last month at the ECCB's headquarters in Basse-Terre, St. Kitts Nevis. The bank, which serves as a central bank for Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Montserrat, disclosed yesterday that the contract was signed. Now, this ECCB Central Bank digital currency pilot is the first of its kind and will involve a securely minted and issued digital version of the EC dollar, the DXCD. I ain't making it up, people. I ain't making it up. You know? Now, the digital EC dollar will be distributed and used by licensed financial institutions and non-bank financial institutions in the ECCU. Now, hold on. I ain't done yet. The DXCD, which is a digital version of the EC dollar, will be used for financial transactions between customers and merchants, or consumers and merchants, including peer-to-peer transactions, follow me, all using smart devices. Now hold on, I ain't done talking. For example, an individual in St. Kitts and Nevis will be able to send DXCD, again the digital version of the currency, securely from his or her smartphone to a friend in Grenada in seconds, and hold on, and at no cost to either party. I ain't making it up. I ain't making it up. You know what I mean? Let me say that again. An individual in St. Kitts and Nevis, for example, will be able to send money, DXCD, securely from his or her smartphone to a friend in Grenada in seconds and at no cost to either party. All you? How that song then, boy? Yeah? How that song? Now, the governor of the ECCB, Timothy Antoine, emphasized that in contrast to previous CBDC research and experiments, the ECCB is going a step further. The ECCB says it's poised to embark on the DXCD pilot from this month. All right, now the pilot will be executed in two phases: development and testing for about 12 months, followed by the rollout and implementation in pilot countries for about 6 months. Now, the bank said that as part of its pilot implementation, it will ramp up its sensitization and educational initiatives to facilitate active public engagements throughout all member countries. Holy water, fine boy. How we sound in. This is good news, people. This is going to change a lot. You know what I mean? Good. Oh yeah. The next story I have to tell you about, boy, comes from Trinidad. Just give me a moment for this one. All right. Very sad case in Trinidad. Because you know they say a man is innocent until he or she is proven guilty, right? And so, on this premise, this man or woman is entitled to bail. right? So we will tell you about a case where a man received bail. Hear this one, Trinidad. Don't get it mixed up. A security officer out on bail for allegedly raping a teenager appeared before the court yesterday, charged with the rape of the same child. Now he was denied bail. He's 22 years old. Now denied bail when he faced the magistrate again. This time, right? It was alleged that he had committed a new offense while on bail for the other matters. Now he was charged with sexually penetrating a 16-year-old girl during the carnival period last year, September. He was charged with raping the girl. Would you imagine that? Anyway, he's going to be going back in court on the 4th of April. This time, his bail was denied. They're saying that the girl who went missing last week Friday was found over the weekend with a man in a shack 5 miles into a forest area, right, in Trinidad. Yeah. So, yep. Anyway, how are we looking? So that's it right there, right? Now the next story that we have to tell all your boy, Michael Jackson. They say his body may be exhumed as 11 new accusers come forward. It's been claimed the accusers believe that DNA samples will prove he abused them. Would you imagine that? They say that he's been accused of abusing people who were also disabled and terminally ill, and we're talking about children, for 3 decades, you know. Michael Jackson's body could reportedly be exhumed after 11 new accusers allegedly came forward. Oh boy. They're saying that there are at least 11 new victims who claim they were molested and even raped by Jackson when they were between the ages of 7 and 14. And the list is growing, according to reports coming out of the US. The first episode of the explosive documentary Living Neverland, Michael Jackson and Me, was aired last night. Alright, and the accusations were damning in that documentary, people. Anyway, I really want to get on to deep in that kind of business there, you know, because what I said is there. We monitored a story that came out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that story actually came from the Eyewitness News. You know, they do a lot of courtroom reporting and so on. And that's the Eyewitness News. I think I would have been able to get a picture for you of a man. His name is Michael Thomas. Let me see if I get Michael Thomas for you. Yes. All right, this man. All right, they're saying that on Friday, the chief magistrate, what's going on with Mikey boy? Magistrate, described as irresponsible, a man who said he was selling cocaine to help take care of his 1-week-old baby. Now he's a 43-year-old man, right? Get himself in trouble. Pleaded guilty at the Serious Offences Court to charges that on the 28th of February, he had in his possession 3 grams of cocaine and 17 grams of cannabis with the intention to supply it to another. Now, he also pleaded guilty to a charge that he resisted the arrest of an officer on that day as well. Now, the court heard that members of the Rapid Response Unit were on mobile patrol duties. When acting on information, they went to an area where he was. They say that he was sitting on a bench. As the police vehicle approached, the police officer saw Thomas throw what appeared to be a plant-like material from a white wrapping paper. Alright, they say that they signaled to the police vehicle to stop and informed Thomas of their observation. Alright, now he consented to a search and the police found him with the drugs. Alright, so he pleaded guilty. Yeah, you say, well, he did it. They say he begged for a chance. He said, give me a chance, please. Please. But he was arrested and he was charged. And they say when he called, he said, well, you know, this is what he had to do. And they do that because he wanted to take care of his children, his child, you know. Told the court that he had a 1-week-old baby and he was trying to help himself and his child. You know, they asked him to pay a fine. You understand? They say he is not a responsible parent at all. So they ordered him to pay $600 forthwith for the cocaine or go to jail for 3 months, and issue $150 for the cannabis or 1 month in prison. For resisting arrest, he was fined $300 to be paid forthwith or 1 month in prison. So they say he had not paid the fine by the time the court adjourned for the day, and so he was escorted to prison. He begged for a blind and things like that, but he still ended up making a jail because he did not have the money to post bail. Alright, where are we going again? What else I had to tell all you? Trinidad and Tobago. The U.S. State Department issued a travel advisory for U.S. citizens, you know, for Trinidad and Tobago. Yesterday they did that. It's a level 2. They say they're asking their citizens to exercise increased caution in Trinidad and Tobago due to crime and terrorism. They say that some areas have increased risk, and so they wanted persons to be cautious. They are saying to their citizens, do not travel to Laventille. Do not travel to Beetham. Do not travel to Sea Lots. And it goes on and on and on. They say even in the interior of the Queen's Park Savannah in Port of Spain, nope, don't go there. That's what they advising the people. They say they have a lot of gang-related activities and terrorists may attack. Listen to this. It says terrorists may attack with little or no warning, targeting tourist locations, transportation hubs, markets, and shopping malls, local government facilities, hotels, clubs, restaurants, places of worship, parks, major sporting and cultural events, educational institutions, airports, and other public areas. What I Baghdad? You're telling me a jet travel advisory, you know, people. A jet travel advisory. All right, so we're running out of time. I see that because we have the national report for you. So let me just tell you quickly. Health officials celebrate groundbreaking eye surgery, and we're talking about people in St. Lucia. In fact, I was really interested in that. You know, there are some people who are diagnosed with some conditions like glaucoma and so on. I know a lot of people on the program who diagnosed with things like glaucoma and who have eye problems due to diabetes, and so I really wanted to share this with you. St. Lucia is right there, and I think this could be an opportunity for many of us to save our eyesight. Here is an HTS report on this.
Locals suffering from retina, cataracts and glaucoma issues no longer have to leave the island to get corrective surgery done. Eye specialist Dr. Shah has collaborated with UK specialists to bring expertise and technology to eradicate blindness in St. Lucia. Dr. Shah says St. Lucia has not had a retina specialist for the last 10 to 15 years.
Unfortunately, there are conditions like glaucoma and diabetes. Once you lose your sight because of that, there is nothing in the world that can get it back. These are one of the leading causes of blindness in the world, and more so in St. Lucia. It was frustrating over the period of years to see that so many people, because of diabetes and glaucoma, went blind. Unfortunately, we did not have until now services of glaucoma and the retina specialist on the island where we can do surgeries, laser, and other advanced treatments. It was always my desire and dream to invest into these equipments and to build the right team of specialists.
Diabetes retinopathy is a major cause of morbidity in persons living with diabetes. In 2018, the Health Ministry disclosed that over 1,200 diabetes patients were experiencing problems with their vision.
Invested in a state-of-art laser to try and treat people with early stages of the disease. So that is really a key thing, having an annual test if you have diabetes of your eyes to see, are you at the stage where simple treatments, non-surgical treatments like laser can prevent you losing sight. And then he asked for my expertise in perhaps setting up a surgical service, because there are some people who will go irreversibly blind, sometimes in both eyes, without having some form of surgical intervention. And we have looked at the feasibility of setting this up, and we're working with the Tapion Hospital.
Jacob Smith is a glaucoma and cataract specialist.
I was surprised at how little glaucoma surgery was done here, having read studies on the extent of glaucoma here in St. Lucia, as well as the keyhole cataract surgery, phacoemulsification cataract surgery, which is what's done in most places in the world these days. And I was amazed it wasn't here yet. So we started hatching plans to develop particularly surgical services here in St. Lucia.
Glaucoma, cataract and diabetic retinopathy are the leading causes of blindness in the Caribbean. Dr. Shah and his team will join efforts with the Tapia Hospital to develop special micro-incision techniques to help correct eye problems in St. Lucia. Gina Filippi, HTS News Force.
So you hear they say in the Caribbean, not just St. Lucia, but in the Caribbean. So I think that is one that we need to take a look at. All right. Yeah. So I had this there, and I just wanted to show you. Who knows what this is called? This is called a tambourine. We call it tambourine. And while I explain this and I gesture to open it up, it has an effect on some of you that you start to cringe and your mouth starts to salivate and you get a bitter taste in your mouth. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm just saying to you, look at tambourine. All right, folks, you know, it's just fun. We have the national report coming up in a moment. I just wanted to tease you. Come on. All right, so just stay right there. We're coming back.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We can't wait for carnival, drinking rum and getting on, roaming all over the town. That is how we are, we fun. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa, ooh yeah. Well, foreigners from all over, coming down to Grenada. Yes, they like in the job. Yes, they like in Spice Mass. Whoa, ooh yeah, whoa. Grenada to the world. They can't wait for us to come. They can't wait for us to come. Oh, you come. Split the rum, bring the gun. They can't get in your section, get in your direction, get in your section, get in your direction. Follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Let's follow the mass going, and we going, and we going. Get in your section.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
The Ring Promotions presents Proceed, the reunion. Grenada, this is it. Wednesday, April 24th, and it's going down above the Ramadan 2. Wednesday leading into the Easter weekend.
Tell me, baby, are you done talking?
It's a reunion of mind, spirit, friends, and music, featuring today's hottest DJs in the mix, playing the biggest hits from the 90s. Versus present day hits. Run with it. Ladies, get your early bird $35 tickets now. Plus, you can bring a 375 ml plastic bottle drink or less on board. General admission $45. Get your tickets now from Charlie's Bar and Pierre's Barbershop Victoria, the Natural Punch Shop, and Heather's Boutique in St. George's. Boarding time 7 p.m. Boat sales at 8 p.m. sharp. Proceed, the reunion. Wednesday, April 24th.
Alrighty then, and it is now time for the National Report.
First zonal sports meet staged. Organizers say they were hoping for a higher level of participation. Stay with us, we'll have the details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Thursday, March 7th, I am Delroy Lozan. 42 events were run off on Thursday in the first zonal games held in preparation for the April 5th National Secondary School Games. Athletes from the Southern Zone were in friendly rivalry at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, which saw a good turnout of students to witness the games. While he was pleased with the turnout of the student body and the athletes who showed up ready for competition, Mr. Curlin Peters, acting coordinator for sports, says he is disappointed that more students were not allowed to compete.
I must say I'm disappointed. I must say it openly with some of the principals. You come here with your students and you sit on the stand and you tell the children not to compete. And the children come down and say, sorry, the principal said not to compete. That is, to me, I don't know how to describe it. Because the same kids you need next year or the year before for intercall. You know, and that is disappointing because there's no benefit of sports to the whole nation building. We just have England and West Indies playing here. You know, we spend how much $millions of dollars preparing for lighting. We all of our athletes performing well at character, at other events. You and Jeremiah, Josh, they all performing well. And we thought the opportunity from here, as somebody as Johan, that outside the competing would not have been there.
Peters, who has been promoting sports in various disciplines for a number of years, says athletes should not be denied the opportunity to compete.
My thing, you could have come here and with the athletes and say you wish to compete. Because it's the same athletes we need for the future. So what happened to sports in Grenada? What happened to track and field? Next 3, 4, 5 years down the line. We have worked very hard, and I say we take over from person to person to make sure that we reach a level where we have, boasted of being having one of the best competition in the whole Caribbean. With the support, with the crowd, we were able to host an event that is viewed by 97 million households in our small country. So that shows our impact internationally.
The games were organized by the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Sports, following the cancellation of intercall games by the Grenada Association of Principals of Secondary Schools. Chief Education Officer Mr. David Andrew says sports plays an integral part in the students' overall development.
Today's zonal meet is pretty important. As you're aware, physical education is now an integral part of the school's curriculum. It's even testable at CXC. It's a tremendously important multi-billion-dollar industry, and the Ministry of Education has a mandate to provide opportunities to see all of the areas of the curriculum grow, and this is one such.
Sports enthusiast and coach Lester Smith believes opportunities must be provided for students to reach their full potential.
The children want to play, just like in soccer, just like in cricket. If we can get the children to play more, then it's better for us. You know, we did so poorly in character over the last 2 years. As I said, we only got 1 medal last year, right? We got 2 medals the year before from Holly Hazard in the 100 and 200, and she's not a homegrown. You know, so we need to spend more time to develop our athletes, and part of development is competition, right? Competition is good. So let's go, let's run with it.
March 13th is the date set for the Western Zonal Games, which will be held at the Cuthbert Peters Park from 9 a.m. and will feature the MacDonald College, the Happy Hill Secondary, the St. John's Christian Secondary, the St. Mark's Secondary, the St. Rose Modern Secondary, and the Mount Rose SDA Comprehensive Secondary Schools. Representatives from one of the funding agency of the Mount Horn Child Development Center accompanied government officials on a tour of the facility on Wednesday. Construction of the facility is 60% complete. Rikisha St. Louis has the details.
The project, which has been funded by India UN Development Partnership Fund, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the Government of Grenada, began 4 months ago in November, is the brainchild of Parliamentary Representative for the constituency of St. Andrew Northwest and Minister for Social Development, Housing and Community Empowerment, Honorable Delma Thomas. The aim is to provide a safe haven for young children in the Mount Horn community and surrounding areas. On Wednesday, the minister, along with a UNICEF representative, visited the site, along with early childhood coordinators from the Ministries of Social Development and Education. According to Minister Thomas, the people of Mount Horn can soon look forward to a state-of-the-art facility to call their own.
This is very, very important for the people of Mount Horn. There are many children and many young mothers who would have gotten jobs or gotten training opportunities, but because they have young children and nowhere to put them, then that's a problem. So the fact that we have this new child development center, they now will be able to put their children in a safe home and go out to find a job or to find some of the training opportunities that is available that can help them to get a job in the future.
Early Childhood Development Specialist for UNICEF Eastern Caribbean Area, Shelly Ann Harper, says she is quite pleased with the progress of the project thus far.
UNICEF is very concerned about children having access to nurturing care, quality early stimulation in their early years, and of course a place where their safety and security is paramount. And so, this is the aim of what we expect to achieve with this work.
Minister Thomas noted, however, that while she is pleased with the progress of the project thus far, she is not certain that the previously set deadline will be met.
While I'm satisfied with the progress that has been made, I am not sure 100% that we will meet the target, the deadline that we had set before, since they are realizing that there are some more work to be done on the project, so it might take a couple months longer, but I am happy where we are thus far, and I see light at the end of the tunnel for the completion of the Child Development Center.
According to building contractor of the project, Jerry Hosford, the facility is approximately 60% complete. For the National Report, I'm Rikisha St. Louis.
You're watching the National Report. More news after the break.
This Saturday, 9th March at 1:30 p.m., the King touches down. The 2019 International Soca Monarch, Mr. Killer, returns home with the coveted crown. I am tired and frustrated of war. And so every Grenadian is asked to assemble at the Morris Bishop International Airport for this grand and historic motorcade, which starts at Point City through St. David's up the Eastern Corridor onto St. Patrick, down the west side and into Wharf, Cuthbert Peters Park to be exact, for the grand welcome home celebration. And also on this motorcade, Mr. Legs, Vaughn, Little Natty and Thunder, and Mandela Links come out and show your appreciation. The International Soca Monarch Welcome Home Party, Mr. Killer. Tell the Prime Minister, open the port and come in home. The celebration continues.
Welcome back. 15 hotel personnel are now more equipped to satisfy and serve the clients following a 2-day customer service excellence training organized by the Grenada Tourism Authority. The training was held following government's decision in 2018 to establish and launch a small hotels program. The program, which is divided into 3 categories, loans, training and market support, is geared towards giving more visibility to small properties in Grenada. Communications Officer of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Ria Murray, stressed the importance of the training. She says within the hospitality industry, it is crucial to note that first impressions last.
It's very, very important to continue training in customer service excellence and also supervisory management, because we know that first impressions last, and customer service is really important. We want to be able to get our frontline personnel up to a point where, you know, their customer service is excellent, it's on point, guests feel comfortable, guests can communicate properly with them, and overall we just want our visitors and our locals as well to have wonderful, memorable experiences when they go to, whether it's a hotel, a restaurant, a bar, you name it. So customer service excellence is really the name of the game.
Training facilitator Anya Braffett said customer service representatives must be consistent in their delivery. She says consistency must be incorporated into their efforts to market Grenada and improve customer service delivery.
While we are a lovely people, we are, you know, you always hear people talk about how nice Grenadians are, how pleasant, you know, how warm, but customer service has to be something on a consistent basis, and we have to appreciate that. And there are skills to help you deliver good customer service. While you maybe have good intent and want to be nice and want to be pleasant, but if you know how to do it, then you will deliver a better customer service to your client.
7 properties were represented at the training. Shadonna Matthew and Yolan Crosby are confident the training will improve their hotel's service delivery.
It helps me a lot in improving my communication skills, my work ethics, and much more. It taught me a lot about customer service. It's not just saying hi, good morning to a lot of guests, but it's the way how we greet them, the way how we approach them. The first impression is always a lasting one. And I want to say it was really helpful to me, and I'll go back to Secret Harbor Boutique Hotel and Marina and share with my other staff so that we can make this team a better team.
Serving my guests with the most beautiful smile and sharing what I've learned here with my co-workers so that they too will serve our customers better, so that they be happy and enjoy our hotel and Grenada.
And finally in the news, the government of Grenada is planning a grand motorcade and celebration event on Saturday, March 9th, in honor of the artists returning from the successful performances at the International Soca Monarch in Trinidad and Tobago. The artists will be welcomed by government officials in a brief ceremony at the Maurice Bishop International Airport. This will be immediately followed by a grand motorcade starting at the airport that will make stops in the 4 parishes which are home to the artists.
Thank you very much, Delroy. And we will have another national report for you that will be tomorrow, God's willing. And folks, that's as far as we can take you for the day. But before we leave, at least we would like to let you see what's happening with the weather. All right, we have the generic again weather report for you, so let's just share that with you before we go. All right, and here we have 27 degrees Celsius. Tonight's minimum temperature is expected to be about 24 degrees Celsius. A percent in terms of precipitation, a 15% chance, humidity 85%, wind 21 kilometers per hour. All right, and we're getting ready to approach Friday, and we hope that Friday is going to be good for everyone, guys. That's it for now. We have run out of time. Let's say hello to Danica, Cynthia, Khadija, Louisa, Lorraine, Crasilda, Suzette, Esther, Sharon, Zaka, Irma, and everyone else, Kireen, Donalyn, Helen, Trevelyn, Angel, and Melly, Sweetness, that's my sister, and my mom, and Queenie, and everyone else on the program, Kieran and Nels, everybody, Khadija, and the whole crew, Rayburn, and the others. Thank you for watching. All right, Sally and everyone else, we have to run. If I didn't big you up tonight, you will get your big up tomorrow, God's willing. Take care of yourselves, guys, and we have run out of time. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say ja. No. Good night, everyone. God bless you and your family. And to those of you on WPG10, thank you for watching.